Today's topic is encryption. And I'm going to start with you, Mike. Mike, what have you heard enough about with encryption, and what would you actually like to hear a lot more?
I think the thing I hear too much about, and it's because it's well understood, is data at rest encryption in the cloud. It's almost push button at this point for cloud providers.
I mean, it's decades old.
Yes, it's been around a long time, and we understand it. We don't need to talk more about it. I get that. But what I'd like to hear more about, and this genuinely isn't intended as a softball, really I would like to hear more about it, is encryption of data in use. We just don't talk about it very much because everyone dismisses it as too hard. And I think maybe there's some trade-off questions in terms of the value, whether it really is that hard. So we just don't hear enough about it. And that's what I would like to hear more about is how do we encrypt data in use?
You have just literally set it up perfectly for our guest. Quite perfectly. That is his bailiwick. So I will ask you, Purandar, even though I know you want to speak to what he just said, I want to know what you've heard enough about with encryption and what you'd like to hear a lot more.
Yeah, what I've heard enough about encryption is people saying they use encryption and they're secure. Most of the people that talk about it have no clue what they're talking about. When they talk about encryption, they rarely realize, if ever, that they use encryption at rest, which really provides protection against somebody walking into a data center and taking your disk that the data is stored on or making a copy of the file. I mean, when did that last happen? When did you ever hear of somebody walk into a data center and walk away with a disk?
Those are definitely not the hacks we hear about today.
You just said it, David. Hacks are still happening, and there's a reason for that. It's because data in use is not encrypted, right? There's no protection.
And explain that for those people who don't understand. Why is data in use not encrypted?
Because it's been a hard problem to solve, especially been a harder problem to solve at scale. And encryption at rest has been the lazy approach to providing a semblance of protection to be in compliance from a regulatory perspective. He was never actually, nobody takes that seriously as a way to protect data in use. The academic research that's been performed for encryption in use has always focused on doing something that's really relevant to maybe 1 or 2% of the actual use cases out there. It's been about providing arithmetic or mathematical support for operations. When you think about what the bulk of the sensitive data is, it's actually characters and strings. It's your social security number, it's credit card number, it's your name, address, it's birth date, that medical IDs. It's never been about numeric attributes. That actually has been a big reason for this whole confusion about why encryption in use has not worked.
Well, let's jump to what you're doing at Sotero. Explain, because you have an encryption in use solution, and what is it exactly you're doing?
So essentially, very simply, we keep data that's being operated on or queried or used encrypted while those queries are running. So what we're doing is encryption-based protection for data at rest to data in use. So if you were to go and run a query on a database that's protected by Sotero, those attributes in there, the sensitive protected attributes, would never be decrypted on the database side. So if somebody were to get to that database, whoever it is, right, outside of an approved user that's been validated and permitted by Sotero, all they would see are encrypted attributes. That's the core of what we're doing. Now, going back to what we started off with at the very beginning, right? Encryption has been hard to implement, especially when you think about the many, many data storage technologies. The fact that it's mostly now hybrid. It's a little bit of some of it on-premise, some of it in the cloud or between clouds. There are no products that say we can give you protection for all of your data assets anywhere that you have them. That essentially is Sotero's mission. We want to provide, and we are providing, a single product for organizations to adopt to protect all of their data anywhere, all the time. So again, summarizing two things. One is we keep data encrypted as we're using them. Second, it doesn't matter what data format, what storage technology you use, we will help you keep that data secure with a single product.
And I'm going to ask the obvious question a lot of people who are listening to this are going to asking is about performance hit. Encryption causes performance issues. If we're doing it on the fly, got to assume there's going to be performance hits. What have you seen? What is your benchmark testing on this?
So that's the good news. From a benchmark perspective, we're able to come to within 1 or 2% of unencrypted data performance.
So it's 1 or 2% slower than unencrypted.
Slower than unencrypted or plain text
Okay,
data.
so pretty much barely noticeable.
Yeah. And the reason we're able to do that is a result of many factors, right? One is obviously the architecture of the product. That our technology team has been phenomenal in architecting it for heavy loads, for heavy volumes, etc. But also keep in mind the technology has evolved pretty dramatically over the last decade. Computing capacity today is magnitudes better than what it used to be 10 years ago. That gives us the platform to be able to scale and achieve the performance that we need to make us be feasible in today's use cases.